In this golf bag are two beautiful sets of irons. They are. Now, this is a head-to-head of two MB irons. So MB meaning muscle back, so kind of a blade effectively. Typically used for your better player, but still a lot of middle handicappers kind of use sometimes blades when they maybe shouldn't do, but either way, they are beautiful looking irons. And the reason why this head-to-head is going to be really interesting is because one set are the Taylormade P.7MBs. I mean, they're just absolutely gorgeous. Now, these are the irons that you'll see someone like a Rory McIlroy using. That, you know, they are the creme de la creme. Stunning, simple, somewhat timeless now. I feel like Taylormade have done a really good job of that. But price-wise, available right now, if you were to go and look for them right now to buy, just over £1,000 for a set. That's 4 to pitching wedge. So certainly not cheap. I think when they were brand new, they were probably nearest to £1,200. And then the other set. This set is also gorgeous. It's stunning, simple, timeless. But these are Takomo 301 MBs. Price-wise, very vastly different. For a set for 4 to pitching wedge, £650. I mean, that's almost as if this Taylormade set had a 40% off deal, which would be an incredible deal, they'd be the same price as these at retail. So in this head-to-head, we're going to hit them both. I've got 7 irons, 4 irons and pitching wedges. Because they are MB irons, there's not loads of technology story. A lot of it is about feel, kind of the interaction that the sole has with the hitting area. They're typically weaker lofted golf clubs. So for the 7 iron in the Taylormade, it's 35 degrees. So even that is weak, to be honest. That's kind of a more old school traditional 7 iron, where the Takomo is 1 degree stronger at 34 degree with the 7 iron. Let's get hitting. I'm excited about this. Let's go with Taylormade first. So as I mentioned, looks wise, this Taylormade, it really is stunning. I think Taylormade have done such an incredible job over the last few years to streamline their P range. Obviously, you've got P790s, P770s, P7CBs, and then these ones, the MBs. They just look now, you know, this iron set could live for 5 years and not date, which I think is a really important aspect, certainly when you're spending so much money. And better players don't want to change clubs all the time. They might want to have these clubs in the bag for a long time. Right, let's get hitting. Behind the golf ball, as you would imagine from a blade, very thin top line, not a long blade length at all, compact, and just pure beauty. And that's a really nice, solid 7 iron into the heart of the green, pin high. What you'll get with a blade is you're not going to get forgiveness. It's not as if if I miss-hit this, and I'm sure I will miss-hit some of these shots, you're not going to get to the front of the green. It's going to finish considerably short. Typically with a blade, you can be a little bit more creative, shot shape a little bit more. Sometimes as a higher handicapper, you don't want that ability to shot shape. You want a ball just to go up and straight. But again, these are for the better players, so they might want a little bit more creativity. That's a nice starting shot. We can get closer than that though. Oh, and that feel. That feel. That's why golfers use blades, because that was absolutely gorgeous. It's got to come out the middle to get that feeling. There's no question about that. On a cold winter's day, if you thin it or hit it out the toe or the heel, you feel it. Vibrates up the golf club through the shaft, through the grip into your hands and throughout your skeleton. So it's not nice when you don't hit one well, but that was as pure as it could be. 169 yards of carry, spot on numbers for a 7 iron of this loft, and a really nice shot. Right, we'll hit a few more with the Taylormade, then we'll switch over to the Takomo. Oh, there's the bad one. There's the bad one. It's just, I mean, it can happen with any club, to be fair, but certainly with the blade, you just have so little room for error. Like, that wasn't horrendous. Shut the face a little bit quick. Off it goes to the left. It actually did okay for distance still, but quite a bit offline. But the first two shots were good, and then these we've got a bit sloppy. Still decent for pin high, but it's missed green left. Oh, but there she is again. Oh, blades, you're evil. You give and you take. A lot of times you take. I mean, that strike is just butter. It really is. And this is where it's really challenging when you're starting to consider using blades. And I've been through this process myself. Like, when you hit shots like that, you're like, I have to use blades every single day of the rest of my life. Like, that feeling is what I need every single day. The shots that went left, the ones that I tugged and the ones that I hit out the toe, I never want to have that feeling ever again. But it's kind of, you have this kind of good cop, bad cop relationship with a bladed golf club, which, again, inevitably you end up, if you're not highly, highly skilled, you'll end up losing the battle. Let's go one more with the 7-iron. I want to chase that feeling one more time. Oh, close. That wasn't a terrible shot, but you can see again, it's just pulled off, missed off the green to the left. Maybe, I know full well I'm probably not the golfer to be using blades these days. Right, let's move over to the Takomo next. We've tested them recently here on the H.I.T channel. I was outrageously impressed. I really was. I kind of, somewhat jokingly, but called the title of that video, the only honest review of the Takomo irons, because a lot of YouTubers and Instagrammers, etc., are sponsored by this brand Takomo. And obviously they say great things about Takomo irons because they're sponsored by them. I wanted to give my honest opinion, and I was very impressed. I was. I also, when I was in South Carolina recently, you saw a load of videos on the main channel with the Brine Bros. They use Takomo. They hit their irons so bloody good, it's ridiculous. So they are very, very solid. I think Wes might use this model. But anyway, this is the 301MB, the blade. It is, as I mentioned, 40% less price than the Taylormade. This is £650 for a set. You buy them directly from Takomo themselves. There's limitations there. You don't really have a huge advantage to be able to test them before you buy them and things like that, but you might not do with the Taylormade in some situations. Anyway, let's hit the Takomo. Behind the golf ball, it's ever so slightly chunkier top line. And I want to say ever so slightly, like tiny bit chunkier on that top line. And even blade length, I think it's just a touch longer, yeah. So compared to Taylormade, it's a tiny bit thicker on that top line and a tiny bit longer blade length as well, which is good. Loft-wise of this, it's 34 degrees, so 1 degree stronger than the Taylormade. So we might see an extra 3 or 4 yards of distance. Oh, beauty. Absolute beauty. Really nice. Really nice. Listen, that is, it's the same feeling as the Taylormades. I can't separate those two feelings. If you somewhat blind tested me, you wouldn't be able to do this because I could tell that's the Takomo behind the ball, but I can't sense a difference between the feel. Like they're very, very similar. They're the same. Let's hit a few more anyway. That was a nice golf shot to start things off. That's nice as well. Tiny bit left side of the green. It catches a piece, yeah, nice. Behind the golf ball, it gives me 10% more confidence than the Taylormade club. And that's really just because it's a little bit thicker, a little bit longer. Just gives me that little bit more confidence that goes, okay, there's a fraction more support there. It maybe allows me to swing a little bit more freely. They're nice shots. All pin high on the green. Let's see if we can get one really close. Nice, they're all in the same spot. Yeah, good, pin high. Left side of the green. Let's see if we can stop drawing it for one shot. Yeah, that's gonna be straighter. I didn't catch every single bit of it. However, and bearing in mind, if you saw the original Takomo review, I actually held a shot with the 7-iron. in that video. It's the first time I've ever held a long shot on review. I've been doing this for 12 years, which I'm not super proud of. Anyway, I've hit the 7 irons. I'm now going to hit the 4 irons and the pitching wedges, and then we can have a look at the results between the Taylormade and the Takomo. Okay, just before I come on to hitting the 4 iron of the Taylormade, this is not for the faint-hearted. Like, that is a small-headed iron. It's either middle or be prepared to hurt your hands a lot. Oh, that feels nice. Oh, that felt really good. Yeah, we'll take that. I do feel good in my eyes at the moment. Hand on heart, that was one of my favourite reviews I've ever filmed, because these are 2 gorgeous sets of irons that I thoroughly enjoyed hitting, and because I actually hit them really well, and I'm starting to maybe consider, should I use blades? No, I think that'd be a mistake at the moment. Really interesting data, really interesting data. As I mentioned before about feel, for me, both sets of irons feel the same. There is a distinct difference in look behind the golf ball. Takomo's a little bit thicker, a little bit longer, but feel identical. Numbers are in. Let's have a look at the 7 irons first. So the 7 iron Takomo versus the 7 iron Taylormade, very, very similar on carry distance. Bearing in mind, the Takomo is 1 degree stronger, 167 with the Taylormade, 168 with the Takomo. Really solid numbers. The only little thing to notice was the spin rate difference. Spin rate on the Taylormade was 5.8. It's actually a little bit low for a Taylormade bladed 7 iron. Where the Takomo iron was over 6,000. I was just getting that little bit more spin. So that was interesting to notice. Pitching wedges, almost identical. Spin rates were almost the same at 8,800. Carry distance is within 2 yards. The loft of the pitching wedges were actually identical to both 47 degrees. And in the 4 irons, wow, I really bloody loved hitting those 4 irons. I don't know why, I just loved it. I think sometimes when you've got a smaller head, it focuses your attention. Like, I had to hit the middle, I had no other option. Distance-wise, it marries up. 205 for the Taylormade with 4,100 spin, spot on. 207 with the Takomo. Again, it's 1 degree stronger in the 4 iron. Good spin numbers. Very, very impressed with both sets. So I think it kind of boils down to what separates these 2. And the biggest standout, there's 2 big standouts here that separate these 2 sets of irons. 1, brand alignment, awareness, trust, maybe. Taylormade has that in abundance. Taylormade's been around for probably most people's golfing career. They have the best players in the world using Taylormade golf clubs. They have that trust. With that trust comes with the price tag. Again, 1,000, 1,200 for a set of P.7MBs. Takomo, on the other hand, they don't have that years of experience. They don't have that kind of best of the best players using them yet. When you put that word in there, yet. They have more social media people using them. Hopefully, like I say, I'm kind of one of those social media people. What they're telling you is true. The Takomo guys who are using these clubs, they're bloody great golf clubs, like really solid. However, you don't get that level of 20 years, 30 years, 50 years of trust that the big brands have gained it's a new brand. So therefore the price tag is much lower, 40% less than Taylormade, which is mind-boggling. So then it comes down to individuals. I think most people having the Taylormade set of in the bag would be like, yeah, there's no questions asked. You've got a beautiful set of Taylormade irons, makes sense. I think where questions would start to come around is if a golfer has Takomo irons in the bag, it's like, well, why have you got them? That's a bit of a weird choice. Potentially, people might say that. I think over the years, that will change. Two great sets of golf clubs really are. I think for the price, these Takomo irons are for pound, the best irons on the market right now. Guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Lots more to come, and we'll see you next time.